Yo, what's up, guys? Is it one of those days? Yes, it is one of those days. We're going to do World Guild Battle with a Drunken Master in every team. Why? Well, I think Drunken Master is just one of the more fun units. It's also one of those units, they have horrible base stats. They're absolutely like non-existing compared to some of the other normal net 5s and that kind of stuff. But they have really good kits. All of them have the skill 1 that is ignore defense on a pretty decent scaling hit. They have attack buffs on the skill 3. They have speed buffs on the skill 3 with attack bar boosts. They have so many good things. They even have a guild lead. It is just 16, but there's a lot of options for the units out there to actually have pretty good skills altogether. They have a lot of buffs in their kits. They have armor breaks in their kits. It's just so much going on that these units would actually be insanely good if they were to ever get a second awakening. However, they don't have that, but I'm still going to be using them. So every team is going to have at least one Drunken Master in there, and I am not entirely sure if that's going to be good, bad, or really horrible, but I think it's going to be really horrible. So let's first think about the teams that I do want to use. In this case, I would say that something with a Leo, but let's see what Drunken Master would fit best with that as well. This is the armor break one. Well, probably I shouldn't use a Drunken Master that gets hit by you. So water would make sense, but water is the exact one that gives the attack speed. So that one is the one that therefore makes least sense. I think I might go for dark because it is the element that doesn't get hit by neither. What is the dark one? Continuous damage. Oh, we can actually make some work with continuous damage. Yeah, I can see that working. Skill 2 has the... just a random hit. Okay, that skill 2 doesn't add in that much. Wait, is there also crit rate on this one? Yeah, there is crit rate for the whole team on that one. Okay. Let's see. I do want to have a wind tank and a water tank. So, therefore, a fire tank. So, I did already mention Leo. And I think for the fire part, if I go for a Assure Egg, a Fire Bayek, it might be a pretty strong one in there as well. And that's also what we then can put on the lead over here. Does have a cleanse, does have a little bit of stuff going on. These two units will always hit these two units. I do have the healing in there. We'll probably make this 100 res. This one might go 100 res as well because these two are the most likely one to be targeted. I think it's good from there. This one does have the speed lead in there. I think it's also the only one where I could go for speed contesting on this one too. Do I want to? Yeah, I kind of do want to go for speed contesting on this one. It does make my life the easiest. And then we just add in... are we going to do a really lazy one on this one where just series Sonya and you kill? I have no clue what you can kill on your skill 1, to be honest. I don't think you kill jack shit. But we can definitely go Adriana and then add in... let's add in just the light series because it's new. I want to use that thing as well. Definitely not the recommended series against a team like this, but I just want to use it. Okay, then the team at the bottom. That's actually a technical, very easy team to be hitting with a Hey Gang. I do not want to use the water one for sure there because the Sierra would target it. So it's going to be either you with the armor break, but that's also wrong element for you. So I'm going to put the fire one in there. Plus a Hey Gang, plus something else. I'm not too sure if I just want to go Hey Gang Amber. Do you have the heal? No, you don't have the heal. You are one that does heal, right? Yeah, there's healing on both sides for it. So actually, I am going to be placing you. But then again, does Hey Gang and a Nora make, or a Hey Gang and a Amber make enough sense? I am not 100% sure about that neither. Because I don't have any prolonged buffs. Wait, do you provide buffs? Yeah, there's the recovery over time buff on this. So that actually does kind of work. I think I'll just go for this with Amber and Hey Gang. Definitely not the best of teams, but then again, gotta use some. So let's see. I think I'm gonna put attack buff and attack lead over there. And then we can maybe go for some ups. Got it wrong. This one, yep. You do get a speed buff from your skill. So I could do you plus a weird nuker scenario. We could actually add in the Siri over here. Will we go use this thing as a Adriana? Yeah, let's just do that. I think it's going to be really horrible, but we're going to use it as an Adriana kind of style. With a Miying, do we actually want to go Miying on that? Yeah, I think we do. But I'll use a violent one it's a little bit more of a bruiser scenario in the first place, because otherwise it might go really bad. Then on the top, we do already have one nuke potential sitting in here. I think we're going to add that in with an Ian could kill this. But do we want to, though? Or would we say Ian kill you, and then we have a dark tank for this. That is an option, but you just give attack buff. You don't really boost A to B, right? Nope, you don't. I could add in a Lima for extra protection, but I would have to make sure that the Ian does also outspeed that Byuncho. And then still one-shots it. I think that is okay to do. And then if we add in a Lima for protection, then we should be kind of good to go. Just have to make them all pretty fast. That's the only thing. Okay, so once again, gotta be a lot of rerouting. And for that reason, you gotta like and you gotta subscribe because, well, see you back in 30 minutes. Okay, after 20 minutes of rerouting, this is going to be all of the runes and the teams. So team 1, it's going to be basing on Ian kills one thing and afterwards we bruiser it. This one already got a rune stolen. As always, it happens. A little bit of a scuff rune, but well, let's just go for it. In this case, we want the Siri to kill something, and then hopefully I still move where this thing can also kill something, hopefully. Here we have a double tank scenario against the double damage dealers, and then we have some cleanup potential over there. In this case, we're using this thing and a scuffed attack booster, speed booster. Wait, this thing does have the swift set, yep, and then we just bruiser it out from there. And then at the bottom team, we're kind of looking at a bruiser hit altogether, where Amber is the only damage dealer. Let's see if this works, how this works, when it works. Probably not really. Comparing this to the 3-star only I did and the, what's it called? The other thingy I did. The ninjas, is this worse or better? I'm not 100% sure. There is shield set on this, so I'm not sure if I want to aim the S3 at this thing. Because I do think that Ian probably kills that regardless. I hope, I pray. They don't have a lead anyway, so... Well, not that this is that much extra damage regardless, but Ian, please kill, otherwise we have big problems. That looked kind of on edge, like the 53k. That kind of felt on edge. Okay, rather had you do the other skill right there, but that is still fine, I guess. I think we still keep this skill for now. Ignore defense, good damage. Okay, we did get rid of our immunity, which isn't really the best thing out there. But we do get an armor break in there. If they don't proc, I would probably be fine. In this case, don't think I will place the S2 anywhere. We're just going to go for a kill. That S1 is just so much damage. Like casual, like 18k skill 1. Imagine making this a 2A and pairing it with a Sylvia. Yo, Sylvia owners would be really happy about that. Like this thing with a Sylvia when this thing has 2A. That's just an insane amount of damage. Okay, let's see over here. I definitely have to kill the mid one. Oh, I'm too slow. I was hoping I was faster. So, okay, in this case, since you already took your turn, apparently that this thing was too slow, even though I had a good amount of speed increasing effect. I think I will kill the Rakan, and then I'll work on the other two. Yeah, I think I have to go that way. Okay, Rakan is dead. Let's see how much they do. Trick of Water, double despair stun. That's not great. I think I actually have to kill you first, because you will go for the defense later. And this thing on the right is not on violent. That's actually a good amount of damage, though. That's a little bit of chip damage. No, don't stun that one. I needed that one. Would I go for recovery? Yeah, I think I will go for the recovery. That's actually not bad damage. Don't stun it. Okay. I definitely won't be lapping this thing as of yet that much. I think I need one extra turn to be properly lapping that. So let's see if we can get that little bit of healing in. This is also more healing. So yeah, that's actually not a bad healer. Like altogether, it's not a bad unit. Too bad that I'm slow. That's definitely not helping me out right now. But I think he's just full on fast. Skill 1 wouldn't do any, or skill 2 wouldn't do anything right now because of my slow. So just go for the skill 1 and try to get some crits in there. And yeah, that did work out. I would say that also this Drunken Master, that his base stats are horrible, but his skill set is once again not bad. With the healing and the sustain that he brings in there, it's definitely not that bad. Okay, in this case, I do want you to move first, because you moving first would mean that you put damage on this, and therefore you go on that, and you are 100 resistance, and therefore this thing is protected over there. So that is going to be game plan. Okay, does get a few additional turns, but doesn't do as much altogether. Let's see if we can already get some of those. These things have damage, man. Oh, wait, apparently that hit over there still did more than the hit over there. That's actually not that great. Okay, we have the recovery in there. That's exactly what I wanted not to happen. But you will go for you right now. So let's just go for skill 1. Damage, though. Why do you keep getting stunned? Okay, at least we have that right now. Let's just go for you. Didn't heal that unit all too much. This one is also more of like a damage build altogether on that unit. So if you use your skill right now, okay, goes for the Angel Blessing. Armor Break is gone. That's a lot of additional turns as well. That's just good skill 1. Can we silence that? I don't have that much accuracy, so no silence apparently. If we can take one more turn, yeah, the skill 1 would definitely kill that. Also, defense buff. Like, defense buff, it doesn't matter. Ignore defense. These skill 1s on these things are so insane. I think that these units might be too broken if you make them 2-way. That is mainly the thing as well. Okay, so we go for this, and we are using you to kill you, so this skill can definitely not go over there, but I could already chip this one a little bit. Okay, that's... It would have been dangerous if you actually went on the wrong unit over there, but let's see. Yep, we do clear. Then from this point on, do we start hitting this, or do we just clear out this thing first and then make it... Yeah, I think actually, normally I like to kill you first, but in this specific case, I think I'd rather just go for killing the Perna twice, and then going for a 3v1. I think that is the better take on this fight itself. Oh, that's also recovery. Yeah, this one is also one more drink. Love the name of the skill already. And anti-crit, and then you hit the wrong one. Fuck. But in the end, like, so far, so good. Definitely. So we do have the boost again. I'm not sure if this is going to be boosting enough on my team with the speed buff that I will start lapping. I don't think so. Nope, not yet. I'm not sure if he has... Well, I didn't have the speed buff anyway, so... If I don't have the speed buff, going for the S2 on series is pretty much always just wasted, useless, because there's not enough speed gap. Like, you will see the damage over here, 10k. Like, you don't want to do that normally. Okay, we have that moving. Ooh, that actually made... that's really bad. That's really, really bad. The only thing I wanted to get stripped is you. So, in this case, I think I'll just go for skill 1. Also, I can't go for the armor break on this thing right now, which is kind of bad. But let's just go for this, that in case that they go for a cleanse or for a strip later, at least I can cleanse it off. Good damage once again with that roll. Okay, Heigang here saving the day. That's bad, but the Heigang is somewhat tanky. I'd rather have it on the Heigang than on the Amber, of course. Okay, don't additional turn. Sure, how much damage can we do with this? That's an okay amount of damage. Skill 1 would definitely kill. Would I go for the kill? Yeah, otherwise I get a second bomb. I can't really... Okay, good additional turn. And then we can go for some more healing. And a little bit of a jump over there. If they hit right now, they will also cleanse. Okay, let's kill you first because you already have dots. And let's just hit that. No armor break and ignore defense on the wrong target. But that is still fine. Push that back. No pushbacks. Okay, at least we're hitting the Heigang. That's the one that can actually pack a punch a little bit. Anyways, well, then again, the Amber is pretty tank as well. Okay, it still worked out. It still worked out. And we're actually looking at a 5 out of 5 so far. So let's use the Drunken Masters again. Let's see if we can use them in the same team, or we gotta be doing a little bit of switching once again. This does look like something that is a lot of bruiser fights, and that mostly makes me happy because at bruiser fights I can fool around and do random shit altogether. I do actually think that I want to be using this team over here again. It was a little bit too slow last time around, but these units I don't really expect to be that fast, so that's a little bit better. Oh, we have this team. That's definitely a dangerous one out there. I wouldn't be using this over there, no. Wouldn't really be outspeeding that neither. I would say that you almost need a Heigang scenario for that. Well, the thing is, no, I can actually use this by the elements. I would need a wind tank and I would need a dark tank, and then I'm good. So I would have to use any of the elements that is not wind or dark. So let's go for water one still. Does make the sense. Anything dark, we'll think about it in a second. So this one is set. This one... you will target either one of those two, which isn't great. If I were to use a different unit over there, would that be better? Yeah, but whom? To be honest, I think I could go for my own Camilla and then make somewhat of a damagey-ish Camilla. Would that make sense? I think that kind of makes sense. We might end up with a Camilla versus Camilla battle, so I'm definitely going to put it on Destroy. And this team over here, this is definitely something I would like to outspeed, otherwise we have issues. So let's just use this whole team over there. Team at the bottom, I could definitely be using, because I want... Oh, I don't want Wind Tank. I do have to get a dark version in here, that's fine. Wind is going to be targeted by you. I could definitely Ball Frig this, that is an option. It's also kind of lame and boring, but I could definitely Ball Frig that. Let's look at something else. Wait, Ian team is in there. Yep, makes sense. You makes sense. This one, somewhat sense. Not that much sense, but a little bit sense. So it's just these two teams. So definitely it's going to be the dark one in here. And I was saying we need a wind tank and we do need a dark tank. He's gonna have attack buff and armor break. That is going to be pretty deadly though. Oh wait, he's dark himself. I have to, no, I can't place neither of those two over there because this one will focus that one and this one will focus that one. Yikes, that's bad, that's bad. Or do we just YOLO it? Could also make one of them full tank, but these base stats, you're not gonna tank shit. Okay, didn't really feel like reruning stuff, so I'm just gonna do Oracles Against the World, and let's see how that works out. Probably really bad. Then the team at the bottom, let's see if we can actually get a more guaranteed victory over there. We do have this thing, and we do have that thing, so they have the double protection for ignored defenses, kind of. I still would like to go ignore defense. Okay, these are the teams that we have at the bottom that are the ones that are most likely switched a little bit. This one is going to be really horrible for all kinds of shapes and ways that you could think about. But let's just see how that does. We always tend to steal at least something. The Chow stole that one. Makes sense, makes sense. What do we like to have over here? We don't really need the crit rate. I want something with crit damage. Well, apparently I have nothing with crit damage. Then you just go something on the full attack. That is also fine. Well, let's see what we can do. What the hell did I steal right now? Artifact. Wait, what kind of damage on you have to do? Let's say damage on fire. Ah, that's the one that the Chow stole. Makes sense. Okay, let's see if this works, and probably doesn't really work. Okay, at least we're fast enough that it should be fine right now for both of them to take a turn. So we killed that very easily. Skill 1 should kill that. Not really. Fuck, we have the defense going on. That is not that great, but I think we're still kind of fine. Skill 1, that's an insane amount of damage. My kind Siri over there. That's just his thing. I really like this unit, to be honest. I've been using it a decent amount. It's fun, man. It hits. So you're definitely going to be hitting this. So you go for the S3 and then hit you. And I am on enough speed where I can actually get away with that. So that's fine. Okay. Okay. Man, these things so have to become 2A, man. Holy damage on that. Like, sure, it's gonna die off pretty quickly right now to the Camilla, but then again, like, wow, that is just simply so freaking much damage. Also, we can do this right now. So we can just get skills back. S2 is just a random punch. If they don't go for the extra roll, it's probably even better to just straight up go skill 1. But wow, damn, that's the damage on the skill 1. I'm still impressed about that. Okay, so in this case, you are going to go on you. So I'm going to use you to hit this as a little bit of chip damage already. If we were able to do some chip damage, you should be able to kill that. It's not that much damage. Can we actually kill this? No, not even remotely close, because you're on a Vio build and not a actual proper damage build. Well, that was the double up stun, I guess. Well, right now, they shouldn't be critting all too much, I guess, because of wrong elements. We don't really need heals right now, so just go for a little bit of chip damage. They have speed buff, so my damage is, well, it's still good damage. Still good damage, actually. Just skill 1 might kill, doesn't kill. Well, then we kill over here. And S2, once again, wouldn't really do too much in this current state. But this helps out a little bit, because I can boost that myself. Yay, healing. Oh, he also has healing. And anti-crit, so actually less value on that unit for him. And we hit, and another hit. And he does counter. He managed to crit while having the anti-crit on wrong element. That's the thing. Okay, then the worst fight of them all. That's actually not something I was expecting to happen neither, but is that actually good? Yeah, that is actually good. Okay, I'm not really liking that additional turn right there. Do we just go for an S2? The rolling punch doesn't really help me that much at the moment as well. Okay, fine that you're hitting that. You do get rid of the immunity, but you're hundreds. What's it called? You are 100 res. Why are you landing everything on 100 res? Well, guys, that is why you don't do 100 res. That thing was 100 res. Okay, if we were to hit this and then roll extra and hit goods, we didn't really hit good. Yep. Are we still winning? Well, this one is dead at least. This is something. Can we armor break this? Okay, he does strip that. That hurts a little bit. Don't overtake turn. Additional turn? Bad. Okay, this thing against the world. If it was triple revenge, I had decent hope for it. Right now, they do have an occasion amount of healing where I'm not sure. Additional turn on skill 1. Not great, not great. Improvise. If he goes for the S2, the additional turns he's getting doesn't really help me that much. Okay, at least we protected that for a little bit. I think I just have to go for skill 1. Gonna get additional turns on this thing. If I get an additional turn... Lima, you fucking suck. Well, sometimes things don't really work out. Also, the thing on the right that was 100 res was like, okay, at least if that thing gets hit, it will get anywhere, but apparently not really. Okay, so in this case, I don't mind if you counter me at all. This is actually a little bit annoying. Well, you can actually take that hit. That is not the worst. Does do a little bit more damage than I expected. Let's go for this. We get some stuns. Yeah, on me. That's not the stun I was asking for. Okay, the Chow's doing it. Yep, stun this, armor break that. I really like that. I don't mind that at all. Yep, stun armor break this. No, not that one. Chow S2 kills. Nice, Chow. That was actually a showcase where Chow did very well. No, this was all on the Drunken Master. The thing hasn't taken a single turn yet. Ooh, ignore defense. Hey, that 18k there, though. That 18k there, though. But these Drunken Masters, the moment they make them 2A, I think they're the only reason they don't make them 2A is because they would be too strong. Because currently, they're on, like, 3-star base stats. If they make that to a 4.5-star, which is a 2A, those are, like, just between the 4-star and the 5 stars. It's just so much damage. Just a casual, like, 18k on a skill 1 and that kind of stuff. It's so much... Especially if you start teaming up and then kind of stuff. So I would say I would absolutely love it if they make those 2As. Because the thing is, they don't even need to change skills. They just need to change the base stats. The moment that they have better base stats, they immediately become like super meta for a whole bunch of stuff. That's the only thing they need. Just better base stats. And if you start increasing like skills, like especially the S2, I think is the increasing part. Because the S2 in a lot of them isn't that crazy, especially on Drunken Kick. It's not that great of skill unless you actually get the roll in there. But wow, yeah, Drunken Mass is good. So let me know in the comments what kind of units you would like to see as 2As or just me toying around with in World Guild Battle. Guys, thanks a lot for watching and see you as always in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.